Alright, it looks like I'm live. As you guys can tell, I'm in a hotel, stuck here for training. Making YouTube videos is not my day job, so to keep making YouTube videos, buying parts and motorcycles and fixing stuff, I have to have a regular job. So for my regular job, I'm here in Dallas right now, and I'm stuck in the hotel. This is an attempt at seeing if this live video works out, because I'm gonna spend quite a bit of time in hotels, and most times the internet is not the greatest, although I'm in a full big city. So let's see how this goes. I'll stick around for about 10-15 minutes, see if some of you will join, and we'll go from there. I've had I haven't been posting as much as I usually do because the holidays and then the new job and the training schedule. So here I am. As soon as I get a proper work schedule, I'm gonna start posting again, at least twice a month. And that's it. I just popped out the video on it's not quite how to winterize your bike. It's more like how to store your bike and make sure that when you come back the bike is ready to go, because I come and go all the times and I don't have as much time to. When I get home, I want to hop on the bike and go for a ride. So I want to make sure that I leave the bike in such a condition that allows me to just put the key in, probably check the tire pressure, and then get out and go enjoy, rather than just be stuck at home having to do some more maintenance before I go. So I hope the lag is not excessive. This hotel doesn't have the best of internet, but it is what it is, and I gotta make do with what I got over here. So if you guys have any question, I see there are a couple of people actually joined the live. I wasn't expecting that. If you guys have any question, feel free to write it on the chat and I'll try to answer. Other than that, I just want to say that there is a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to motorcycle and motorcycle maintenance. There are a few people that do it right. Harry Henning from Redzilla, his videos are correct. He researches the topic and does it. But then I see other people that keep telling me to fill up the oil filter with oil before I put it on the bike. The problem is the oil filter is perpendicular to the bike. If I fill it with oil, once I do this, the oil is gonna spill. On top of that, usually on most bike nowadays, the oil filter is positioned below the full line. So by the time you add all the oil necessary to the bike and start the bike, the oil filter will be filled up. There is an old concept when oil pumps were not as efficient. The oil consistency was not as sticky as today. So at a certain point in the past, kind of made sense so that your engine doesn't run dry, but nowadays it takes a split second for the oil to actually get in and start circulating. And because when you do an oil change, there is still a coat of oil around the engine, it's not going to be a big problem. Now, if you're actually rebuilding the engine itself, first of all, you need to use assembly lube, because you have to. And then I can almost see it, because the engine is being cleaned thoroughly, because you've been rebuilding it, and there is no oil coating anything. Although the assembly lube should give you that few seconds protection before the oil gets back in around. But if you want to be extra careful, then I can see it. But if you're just doing an oil change, it's gonna just be a pain. It's just gonna create extra stress, and there is a lot of that. It's like another thing is the cleaning the chain. You look around and be cleaning the chain, people always tell you gotta clean and lube the chain every 500 miles. First of all, when you lube the chain, there is no lube actually going into the chain itself. Most of the modern chain nowadays are sealed, so they have O-rings on both sides. So what you're really doing is lubing the outside. And cleaning the chain before you actually need to clean the chain, it just strips away the grease that you have on the chain. So if you're going off-roading or ride your adventure bike on a very dusty surface, yeah, I can understand to clean the chain, but when you end up washing the bike as you spray it, most times they will do just as well. Lube it lightly and you're done. There are so many people getting pissed off if you don't lube the chain every 500 miles, and then they tell you that is super risky because the chain is gonna fling out and kill 3 kids crossing the street. And it's usually not true. Modern chains are really, really hard to break. You really need to have messed up to have a chain break on you. And I know there's gonna be, in the comment eventually down there, is gonna be the odd comment that is gonna tell you, yeah, well, a friend of mine had the chain fling out, he destroyed his engine, the both tire exploded, his helmet broke in half, and 3 cars behind him died, and a train derailed because he didn't lube the chain properly. And it's usually a whole bunch of bull. Take care of your bike, but don't overdo it. And that goes for everything. So if you're storing the bike for a long period of time because you're going somewhere, then yeah, do the few things that you're supposed to do, you know, and add top off the oil, check the tire pressure, and everything I've done in the video that just came out. But most of all, do it sensibly. There is no need to take the bike completely apart, especially if you're gone or you don't use the bike for a month or 2. the bike will be fine. It's 2023. We have rovers on Mars that have been on their own for years and they're fine. I'm not comparing the motorcycle to a rover on Mars. I actually am. But there is no need to overdo it. And most of all, there is no need to go in the comment section of my videos and scream bloody murder because your grandpa told you that on his Truckstone from 1960s he had to do certain things, otherwise the motorcycle would explode. So motorcycle and riding bikes in general is supposed to be a pleasure. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a way of breaking out of your daily routine. If you spend so much time worrying about stuff you don't have to worry about, that is going to make it much worse. So that is my 2 cents on what to do with a motorcycle if you want to store it for a period of time. Of course, if you live in Canada, on the northern side of Canada where it snows, and you keep the bike in the woodshed with mices, with snow and water infiltration, that's a completely different story. But if you have a garage at home, in a house, there's really no need for all that prep that I see on videos time after time on YouTube. So that is one of the things, and especially if you have multiple bikes, I usually keep one of the bikes ready to go. I travel a lot for work, so I'm gone, then I come back, then I'm gone again. Then sometime, like right now, I thought I would be gone for 2-3 weeks. Instead, it turns out I'm at week 3 right now, and there is no end in sight, which is annoying because I would like to go back home and ride my motorcycles. But if a bike it just sits in your garage for a month, it'll be fine, you know. And if you really need the bike to move around or to be ridden, just let your wife or your girlfriend ride it. So that's kind of a threat management. Are you gonna let the bike sit in your garage safe and sound, or because you think that the bike is gonna get ruined if it doesn't move every 2 weeks, are you willing to give it to somebody else to ride? I much rather keep the bike safe and sound in the garage, and then when I go back, maybe I do a slightly extra thorough inspection before I take it out. Anyway, I've been blubbering now for about 15 minutes. This was kind of a test to see if I can do those things when I'm traveling. So far so good. You guys can see in the back over there, it's a little kitchenette, they call it. It's a mini fridge and a microwave, and my luggage in the back. And if you guys comment down below and you tell me that you enjoy those little chats, I'm gonna keep doing it from wherever I am. If not, I'm just gonna stop. it's good for everybody. But I really appreciate you guys showing up. More people than I thought. I actually got a like too. So nothing. Keep watching. Should be able to go home soon enough and start making proper videos again soon. In the meantime, I have 200 videos on the channel, if you need to know anything about BMW F800GS's, Aprilia's, Africa Twin, or the multitude of other bikes that I made video for, just feel free to go scroll through the catalog and see what's going on. Other than that, dai tutti! Shout out to my Italian friends, and I'll see you guys all next time if I can figure out how to shut down this thing.